to pray for us tonight.
A little on the short side, so. All right, well, let's approach God's throne of grace and mercy together. Father God, what an honor it is to approach your throne and with our brothers and sisters here in Christ, not because of who we are, what we've done, but because of who Jesus is and what he has done for us on Calvary's cross. Lord, we thank you that you have given us the keys to the kingdom, that you have allowed us to partner with you in prayer and petition, and we are just so grateful. We are so grateful because the Bible says that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us, so we are just so thankful, Lord. Tonight I just pray that everything that we speak about and accomplish here would be to glorify you. I pray that you would allow us to have unity in our hearts. I pray that you would just allow us to be part of your business, your kingdom business, not just political business. Lord, I just pray that your spirit would be among us and that everything we do tonight would glorify your name. And I'm just so thankful to be surrounded with these folks here, and I just pray that you would just come and tug on our hearts and let everything we do tonight be for your glory. And I just pray that you would just be with us tonight. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name, in the power of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.
Okay. Would you like to do the pledges for us?
Sure, I'll do the pledges.
Okay.
Honor the Texas flag.
America first. Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
So we welcome all the guests here tonight that have joined us. So for people that are new to the meetings, we have the current precinct chairs that sit in these two sections. And if you're a guest, then you sit on the side sections. That way we can keep up with who is voting, who are the voting members and who are not. So just for all the new folks that are here. Do we have any elected officials or candidates that would like to speak for a few minutes? All right, seeing none, I'm going to move on with my chairman's report. I just want to welcome everybody again and all the dignitaries that we might have here tonight. We appreciate everyone who attends. I'm joined here tonight by Charles Shirley, who is the party treasurer. The parliamentarian Peter Allison may come in, and he will be in this second seat right here. Lana Horde is the secretary, and Louis Pedraza, the vice chairman for the party. Elections, elections, and more elections. I know folks are growing tired of elections, and most importantly, campaign ads and mailers. But be thankful that we have the right to choose those who will serve us in elected offices. We should vote like our future, our children's future, and our grandchildren's future depends on it, because it does. It gave me such a great feeling to know that Senate District 4 turned out and proved itself to be solidly Republican in the special election for Brett Ligon to serve as our Senate District 4 Texas Senator. That was a great thing. It was such a strong victory that hopefully the Democrats will concentrate their efforts in other areas. The number one purpose of the Republican Party is to administer the primary elections. Hence, each precinct chair has a duty to either work the election in their precinct or to find a substitute to the elections as the judge. Each precinct chair should make sure a team of election workers is available to work the elections. By the time we have our organization meeting in June, each precinct chair should make sure that their precinct is listed with a judge and a substitute judge. This list will be submitted to the commissioners for their approval. This list will cover the judge assignments for the upcoming biennium 1 year. So it will be from August until the following August. Please contact Terry Sherman, and make sure your precinct is properly listed. This is not optional. It is required every June from each precinct chair. So while we are discussing the party responsibilities for elections, we need to discuss our new duties of paying the election workers for the primary and the primary runoff. In the past, here in Montgomery County, the party contracted with the county to pay the election workers. This year, because the county commissioners have voted to use Paysetter to pay the workers, and the county sustains a large charge for Paysetter services, we did not continue the contract of allowing the county to pay the workers. The extra charge of payment services is not reimbursable by the Secretary of State and would have been a burden on the party. By undertaking the project of paying the workers, the party avoids this rather large fee. However, the Secretary of State only fronts the party 75% of cost of running the primary, including the costs of the workers. The party is responsible for the remaining cost of paying the workers and seeks reimbursement from the Secretary of State. The party will be completing the paperwork in July and August to receive this money from the SOS. Hence, the party did loan the party primary account $15,000 this week to cover the cost of election workers' pay for the recent primary. I suspect in June, to complete the runoff payments, we will have to loan the fund another $10,000. So that will be a total of $25,000. Also, just so everyone understands, Lewis and I will be working on the runoff checks after the convention. That is the week of June 15th. We hope to make sure checks are mailed by June 19th. It takes the election department a couple of weeks to deliver the timesheets to us to write these checks. So we could not do it any sooner than that week. Please make sure the workers all know not to expect their checks until after June 19th. When the paperwork is submitted to the SOS for the final primary reimbursement, we'll receive the funds we have loaned to the primary fund and additional funds to cover other expenses such as 30% of our office rent. As you can see, the party is expected to have the funds to cover these costs for several months. Which leads me to an important topic, fundraising. Obviously, fundraising for the party is a second priority. We cannot perform our duties of running the primary elections or getting out the vote for the general election without substantial funds. We all know that the infighting within the party has hurt fundraising. Every precinct chair is responsible to make sure the party is financially stable and able to meet the obligations of the party. Perhaps the Republican Women Club would like to undertake a gala or other type of fundraiser to ensure the party has funds to perform its mission. With 6 huge women's clubs teamed up to organize and execute a fundraiser, it sure would help the party. Nobody likes to put on events or do a better job than the Republican women do. The fundraising committee will have their hands full this fall, so I know they would appreciate the assistance. We do have a fundraiser planned in October of a golf tournament. I believe it is October the 12th. Again, all precinct chairs should be assisting in fundraising. We have a busy summer coming up. This week is the National Day of Prayer for our country. It's on Thursday. I will be participating along with other elected officials in a couple of events. Please take time to pray for our country this week. Dale Inman and I also will be participating in an event in Chambers County as part of our SREC duties. We will be briefing the folks of Chambers County on the upcoming convention. I hope everyone is able to get registered for the convention or are making plans to attend. Please let me know if you still have registration problems. It is important that we stand up at the convention for our party's tradition of being a bottom-up organization and not let it become a top-down party as the other guys have. We will be voting on our party leadership and the legislative priorities for the upcoming legislative session. The grassroots, or we the people, decide the direction of the Republican Party for the next 2 years, but you must be present to vote. One last thing, we approach 250th anniversary of our country this summer. We need to celebrate big. One of the things that we have been asked to do again is participate in the Woodlands 4th of July parade. So please stand ready to assist Bob Bagley to make sure we get that work done. If you are looking for me after May 14th, you will not find me. I am off with my family to observe a different kind of wildlife in Alaska. First of all, to prove that we are crazy, we will be driving to Vancouver, Canada. Then we will join Mickey Mouse on an Alaskan adventure, which includes observing whales and grizzly bears. Lewis will chair the June 2nd meeting, which will be the last meeting of the old precinct chairs. For the meet and greet at 4:30, we would like to invite the new precinct chairs so they can introduce themselves and mix and mingle. If you are one of our brand new precinct chairs visiting as a guest here tonight, would you please stand so we can recognize you? These are the new precinct chairs. Thank you for being here and getting a head start on learning your duties as precinct chairs. At the next meeting, we would need to prepare them to have their election team done before the organization meeting and prepare them for the upcoming organization meeting, which will be their first official meeting. We will have 2 swearing-in ceremonies, one as the Armor of God event and one at the organization meeting June 27th. We have lots of work to do, so let's join together and get things done. Thank you. We are ready for the roll call.
Do we have anybody that has come in that has not signed in yet? We got everybody? Oh, Herschel, you were the first one here, and I put the list out after you were already here, so here you go.
Sign in even if we're just chairs, yes?
Out there, this is just for precinct chairs, so yes, thank you.
Do I need to go out there and sign in right now?
You can, as long as you get it before you leave.
All right.
Yeah,
sides.
Okay, Daily Arbogast. Kent Frappier.
Yeah.
Alexander Shandell.
Yeah.
Paul Gibolis. Janelle Murray. Kenneth Ernest. Phoebe Wesley. William Kirchable.
Here.
Quentin Smith. Clarence Lewis. Marlisa Stripling.
Here.
James Metz. Laurie Clifton. Oscar Martinez. Gary Reynolds. Mark Frank.
Here.
Dale Fessenden.
Here.
Matthew Dancer. Brandy Grissamberry. Susan Johnson. Evan Kendrick.
Here.
David Scott.
Here.
Scott Baker.
Here.
Bob Bagley. Wendy Lynch. Caleb Smith. Dale Inman. Stephen Kent.
Here.
Linda Stuckey.
Here.
Mark Ferber.
Here.
Betty Anderson.
Here.
Amy Van Horn.
Here.
Scott Robbins.
Here.
David West. Tammy Kelver.
Here.
Paul Crowson. Terry Kropick. Stacy Buick.
Here.
Brad Vickers. Jan Nell. Jamie Nash.
Here.
Charlotte Bellin.
Here.
John Schluter.
Here.
Kat Rummel. Peter Stees. Mark Fusca. Stephen Lawrence. Adrian Heath. Christina Lightfoot. Johnny Reyes. Gerald Pearson. Christopher Crawford. Tom Grega.
Yep.
Sarah Allison.
Here.
I gotta get your signature, yes ma'am.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yep. Perfect timing. Keith Lincoln. Elizabeth Ricard.
Here.
Allison Winter. Judy Thomas.
Here.
Donna McAleer.
Here.
Stephen Wright. Herschel Williams.
Here.
Rosendo Jimenez. Tammy Lake. Wendy Yockey. Denise Boyd.
Here.
Lorraine Rice.
Here.
John Wirtz. John Munich. Kathy Lucetta.
Here.
Ann Kate.
Here.
Rick Vandenberg. Paige Tooker. Larry Rogers.
Here.
Paul Gregory. Josh Jaros. Richard Von Robel. Susan Love.
Here.
Blake Hall. Daniel Stage.
Here.
Jeff Zedler.
Here.
Bonnie Gross. David Johns.
Here.
Robert Walker.
Here.
Charles Shirley.
Here.
Melinda Olind.
Here.
Gilbert Helsher. Annette Kerr.
Here.
Justin Stidham. Edward Arnold. Mary Lewis. Sherry Tamil. Louis Yepes.
Here.
Kim Weber.
Here.
Stephanie Cox.
Here.
Tom Conley.
Here.
Stacy Kellum. Michael Anderson. Diane Campbell.
Here.
Lexi Pfister.
Here.
Lana Horde here. Jackie Williams. Graham Church. Karen Zeller.
Here.
Louis Pedraza. Ronnie Trojanowski. Ben Walsh. Wendy Taylor. Castle Towery.
Here.
Jeff Marshall. Michael Evanger.
Here.
Sean Nelson. Okay. So we have a quorum requirement of 28, which is 25% of 121 minus 10 vacancies, 111. And we have a quorum of 50 here, so we're good.
Very good, thank you.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, sir.
if I'm not mistaken, didn't Jack Munich and Paul Gabolas both resign? I thought they were vacant. They both resigned. Paul Gabolas resigned months ago, and Jack Munich just sent a letter a few weeks ago.
Allison's not here, so I have to go back and check that. If you're correct, Scott, I'll go back and check it, but it won't change our quorum requirement. We
Yeah,
still met
I
quorum,
know that.
so-
It should
Yeah,
be.
if that's the case, then we're at 109, 25% of 109, we're still above it at 50, so, but I'll check it.
Paul told us that he was stepping down, but he still hasn't sent a letter. He has to send a letter before.
Okay, so we have an agenda that has been distributed to you. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
All right, and we have a second over here.
Who's the second?
What's the second?
I'll second it.
Oh, okay.
Can't probably control.
All those that are approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, the agenda is approved as distributed. The April minutes have been distributed on the website, and I believe that she's made a copy for you here tonight. Are there any adjustments to the April minutes? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Mark Frank. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
And I have a parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, ma'am.
So it became evident this afternoon in correcting the minutes from February and January from the previous meeting and trying to put all of the exhibits that were missing onto the Google Drive, that our February minutes miscategorized a number of the exhibits. It's a sort of a de minimis error. They're not correct on the letters. And I did correct them in the February minutes, but do we need to actually pass a second corrected minutes from February because of that correction?
Okay, well, let's finish this because we didn't quite finish this one yet.
Oh, did we just?
Okay, well, we did, but I didn't get the nays. Are there any nays against the April minutes? Seeing none. Okay, moving on to your adjustment of you want to make a technical adjustment on the what month?
This is the the February minutes that we were putting the exhibits in. We thought we were missing 10, we were actually missing 11 exhibits. So it changed all the lettering on how we sequence them. Okay. And I made the corrections, I put it in italics and in yellow on the documents on the Google Drive.
Okay, so do I have a motion to
Run off for the special.
I just wasn't sure if it was de minimis. Yeah, okay.
do they need to vote? Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, per the parliamentarian, no vote is necessary as it's a clerical adjustment. Moving on to committee reports. Vacancy, I know Allison's not here, but I believe Karen was going to make a motion. I can't see Karen. I don't know where she's at.
I ran off. No.
She's sitting in the back. Were you going to make a statement?
No, that there's no motion, but there's nothing to present at this time.
Nothing to report at this time?
Correct.
Okay. The Victory Committee, I see John is not here. Was there any report from that committee? Or was that you, Herschel?
Yeah, I'm jumping into fundraising, the golf tournament. Is that all right? Would that be John?
Victory is the text. Victory is the text, the texting campaign.
Oh.
Yeah, that's you too. Yeah.
That's me too. Texting. We just did a text for Brett Ligon that we all voted to use some of the funds that were left over from the Get Out the Vote campaign, and we did so, and it was about $5,000 out of the $6,000. We did 3 different texts throughout SD4 to 82,548 recipients, which is about 0.05 or whatever, 5 cents, 5.5 cents, something like that, 5.8 cents. Sorry, I've got too many decimals here. 5.8 cents per text, which is a pretty good price for a text messaging. So we're happy that's over. We had some others we helped out with, and if you do have a campaign where you want to text, I will do it for you. We have a service that I'm an agent for, and Lana is, and there's one other person that can do it. And all you need to do is contact us, and if you have artwork and you have a theme in what you want to be in your text message, please present it with your request. And Elizabeth Ricard is very talented, and she's a good go-to. If it's going to be a big one, dress it up because it attracts attention, and your message is more concise when you use a graphic. So that's the Get Out the Vote.
You have a question?
Yes. Question? Yes, sir.
It's actually kind of 2 questions. Do we have any report or data analytics that show us the results of the text campaign? How many people we actually reached? How many people unsubscribed? All that?
Yes.
And second of all, I received a couple of texts. One of them after I had voted. It was my understanding that the text program was smart enough and we could filter it enough so that it would know if somebody had voted we didn't spend any money to text them.
Send it to me.
Okay.
I don't know if it's ours or not. There were text messages sent by a lot of different agencies.
It was our text. It was from.
Well, good. Let me know if you have a copy with the photo. Take a picture of it.
Yeah, I'll
if you have it with the date and the time, send it to me because I'll certainly look at which one it was and find out. And we do, by the way, for anybody who asks us to present or send out a text, there is a status report we can print after it's completed. And it's a spreadsheet, and it tells you who got it, who didn't, why, if they were blocked or whatever. It's all there in the spreadsheet, and I can provide it to you. So yes, there is feedback. You have to ask for it because, believe me, I am not going to send that out to everybody. It's enough trouble doing the text. We have a charge, and I want to tell you that I am paid as a consultant doing this. I'm paid $5 for a text, and I spend sometimes an hour or 2 with somebody trying to get the graphics and everything straight on a text before it goes out. It is not worth $5. It's worth about $100. But we're doing that because of the TEC. And being an agent just to process the text for everybody using another agency. The agency is Right Impact, and they have a contract with the party nationally. So we are working with those people, and that's why we get such a good rate on texting. I mean, it's a darn good rate for a graphical text. So we do have that information available. All you got to do is ask. If you got one late, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I thought they were all out at least one day before the polling took place.
I early voted, and I still got one after it. So I thought it was supposed to go against the roster and verify. That way we're not spending money that we don't have to, right, to text somebody that's already voted. So.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yes, sir.
What are the results? You sent out 82,000 texts. You're supposed to get the report afterwards. How many of those people did you send those texts to?
I'm going to send it to you, and then you can sit there and fiddle with those numbers. I've got other things to do besides sit there and fiddle with rows of numbers on how effective it is. I'm sorry, Robert, but that's not my forte.
You requested the use of party funds to send out a text, and you can't even tell the party how what the results are of that text campaign to know how effective it was, whether it was worth the money that they spent.
I'm going to guess and say it's probably 80 to 85%.
No, you just sat here and told people.
I have a breakdown by each precinct. Each precinct is each precinct is a separate text, and there's 80 precincts that went out for Brett Ligon, and they all have different status reports. They are not combined. And I'm not going to go through with my little calculator and add up how many were rejected, how many got through, and all that just for this. If you want to take it over, I can have you do the data. I'll send you the data and you can do that. But I'm not spending my $5 doing that.
Okay. The next question is, when did the party authorize you to receive $5 for using the party's account?
It's not the party's account. It's not the party's account. It's a national Republican arrangement that's made to have volume. And if we actually call Texas Ethics Commission and ask them what is the correct way to do this, so the party is, because the party can't do things like in primary elections, which means it would not be available as a resource to all of our precinct chairs and people that might want to use that. So Texas Ethics Commission gave us a recommendation on the best way to paper this so that it would be proper. There has to be a very minimal fee charge for you to be an agent.
Okay.
And we said $5 is fine, which we're probably donating all that back. I mean,
what meeting was it approved to grant that?
there's no granting. It's not the party's account. It's the national GOP.
For the party.
No, it's
this was just used for the party.
Well, I don't think any of this discussion about the $5 and everything has anything to do with the money that was spent for the Brett Ligon text. I think Herschel went off into a different subject area. I mean, you didn't get $5 for doing the Brett Ligon text.
Yeah, that's true.
Or did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, that's what it said.
Every text that goes through my consulting, I get $5.
Every campaign.
Every
campaign. There were 2 campaigns, 3.
You got $10.
There was 3.
3, there's $15. And it was authorized in the previous motion, Robert.
With 10
To actually spend the
precincts.
funds.
That was for the funds, but to make
The CEC doesn't,
party related.
no, the CEC does not make a distinction between who you subcontracted. That's micromanagement. It was subcontracted at the rate.
But the tech has to vote on subcontracting.
So we can move on, please.
It was approved at the previous meeting.
Give us right now. Let's go.
Okay, so Herschel, are you finished? The next.
I'm through.
Well, thank you for your efforts in getting those texts out for Brett Ligon's campaign, because that was very successful in getting him elected, and we certainly needed to have him elected. The Resolutions Committee.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't. I was still stuck on my donation. Sorry, I did not have a report for this month.
Okay. So no report from the Resolutions Committee. All right. Now, Herschel, if I let you back up here for the golf tournament, please be careful. Try not to get it too muddy.
Okay. I didn't make any money off of this golf tournament thing, okay? The golf tournament's going to be in my home course, which I used to play a lot, Walden. Now, I don't play it anymore because I don't have time because I've been involved with the party. But I do know the pros and all that, and the course is in great shape. It's one of the best courses around right now, beautiful. And we're going to have our tournament there again this year, like we did last. This year it's going to be earlier than it was. Last year we were right after the Golfers Against Cancer, which is one of the biggest tournaments out there. So we're ahead of that by several weeks, and ahead, about a week ahead of early voting. So we're going to have a good time to get people out. I encourage you to invite your friends, and it's going to be October 12th at Walden Golf Club. So be there or be square.
So was there a fee that we needed to approve tonight, or we're not ready for the...
Yeah, we need $1,000 to hold the course as a down payment. Yes, ma'am?
Second.
Oh,
Second.
So your motion as a...
yeah, motion is to put $1,000.
And I second it.
Okay.
All right. So is there any further discussion on the fee to hold the golf tournament?
It's a deposit. It's not
Deposit.
spending it.
Yeah.
It's going to be more than that spent the day of. So it's the whole course.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, you can grant them the $1,000 for their deposit. Anything else on your fundraising? I'm so happy. Headquarters, office search.
Any information?
Yes, Tom.
It says on there resolutions, not resolutions committee.
Well, it is the resolutions committee,
It's under committee report.
and she said she had no report. Did you have another question?
I have something to introduce, and I thought that would have been my spot, that's all.
New business.
Okay, moving ahead. Headquarters, I don't know who's giving that report.
We don't have a report.
Oh, no report. Okay, technology. I don't see Pete, so I don't think we have a report there. Are there any other committees that would like to report? Do you want to?
I do. There's not a whole lot to say, except that, okay, for the election support committee, for our 526, we have all but 3 locations staffed. So we need precinct 86, precinct, which will be at Little Branch Church. We need somebody for precinct 4 and 79, which is at Glenlock Elementary, and we need someone to judge for the whole list. There's 4 precincts at the Lone Star College in Kingwood, so we need somebody there. So y'all got any ideas, let me know, but I just want to reiterate what Gwen had to say, and this is going to be a long list, 122 for this commissioner's list, so start working on your names, get me your names as soon as possible. It's going to take a lot of time to get this together, so I will be devoting the rest of this month to doing that, so thank you for your cooperation. Yes, ma'am.
Has Election Central thought about maybe doing some sort of campaign to get clerks out there? Because really,
Well,
I've never seen any.
the way I understand it, it's you guys' responsibility.
Oh.
So if you have some ideas of what y'all want to do, but
Yeah, they have, Election Central has a permanent job listing on the county website, and they have applications, and they have a whole list of people that they have developed. They have the records of everyone who's ever served in elections, and once the party, we've been to the point where we've done the best we can, they tend to take over, and especially with providing clerks.
Right.
What we want to do is be sure that as many election locations are staffed with as many Republicans as possible. They don't have a priority to staff with Republicans. So we have that priority.
okay, and so what I was told as according to the law, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but according to the election law, as far as the order of who comes first to serve, first is the commissioner's list. Whoever's on this commissioner's list is the first person that we call, and to make sure that they're available. The second would be you, the precinct chair. Third, if you can't do it, you give us a name for somebody else. And then third or fourth would be if there's somebody from another precinct that we can get here. But what has happened in the past is we kind of got lazy, I think, maybe on that. I don't know. I wasn't part of it back then. But it got to be, okay, now we have this whole list of people who can travel all over the county. It's not supposed to work like that. So, and I think the breakdown is in, you guys are going to have to work on recruiting people in your own precinct.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you totally, but I'm just saying that it is the election central who will be in trouble if there can't be an election at a location where there's supposed to be an election. And so at a certain point, plus the fact that you send them a list, and between the time you send them the list and the election, people quit. They call up and say, no, sorry, I can't go, or no, I didn't know it was in-person training. And I'm not talking about judges. I'm talking about judges, alternate judges, and clerks, the entire crew. And I actually, frankly, could not have staffed my location for May 2nd with clerks, without the help of Election Central. And they sent me a whole history of people who had a clerk.
So let me clear something up real quick, because I've gotten contact from some of y'all, and I don't do anything with clerks. That's your job. Or your judge's job to find the clerks. Okay, the only thing that I'm doing is making sure that there's an election judge for a location. And I get that from, as I said, the list. I call those first, and then you.
Yeah, but if someone quits, Election Central will start calling. They call me often and say, can you judge, in New Canaan or someplace like that.
Right.
So, that because the law allows somebody other than the precinct chair.
Sure.
If the precinct
Down the
chair
list.
is unavailable.
Right.
I know, but the party chair is supposed to supply this list to the commissioners. The commissioners approve it. That person has been appointed as the judge for that precinct for the entire year. If they cannot serve, then we're supposed to have a substitute that was already approved by the commissioners. So we shouldn't be having to run all over the place trying to find out. You should have a judge and you should have a substitute already for each precinct. And it shouldn't be we're trying to run all over the county trying to find out who these people are.
Right.
And those two people should be from
that precinct, yes, from the precinct.
Okay, well, Scott's had his hand up for some time now.
Just to clarify, the Texas Election Code actually requires the chairperson of the county to provide the list of judges, and the judge is supposed to provide the clerks. The county has stepped up and has been helpful with that for a long time, but the Texas Election Code says that if you are the election judge in a precinct, you are responsible for appointing the clerks.
That is correct. Linda?
I have a point of inquiry. It seems so silly that we have such lengthy early voting times and we have so many clerks. I mean, at Friendship, where my voting box, there was a clerk like every few steps. I mean, you could go from here and then there was another one there to tell you to go to there. And it just is ridiculous to me that we have to have so many people and it costs so much for elections. Plus also, I really think that having it be so long is crazy. People can get there if they know that they have to do that. And also that they should consolidate some of these locations, especially in these other like May 2nd. Tom had one voter. One voter. Wow.
Yes,
I mean,
I'm
it's
aware of
ridiculous.
that.
We just paid, how many clerks and a judge to do that. And
one validated.
Yeah. And so, what's the steps? Who needs to take the steps, and what are the steps to correct that and make some amendments?
Well, when I was at Election Central the day of the election, and Susie and I were discussing that one location that you're discussing right now, as she stated to me, she would have hated beforehand that we can look at that one in the future, but that she was unaware that it would be that slight in in retrospect, it's easy to see that, but she wasn't suspecting that that was going to be the case, and she would have hated to have consolidated that one beforehand. So in the future, she said she would be looking at that one as a consolidated site.
But in general, what do we need to do to try and get the length of time shortened and things like that?
Well, that's a whole different, I mean, that's election law, and that's in the law. You have to change the laws, so that's not something we can do.
So we need to go through our representative.
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Buick?
Well, considering if this was a special election, there was only like 50 people in precinct 38 that voted, 205 in April Sound that voted. Can we, I mean, to obviously save money and time and people, can we consolidate these polling places for these special elections?
The county does that.
That's what you did.
I know, but we have some authority, right, to be able to do that?
No, we have no authority over this particular election that just took place. We only have authority over the primaries.
Okay, but you just said that you were going to talk to McCarty about
Susie, I was discussing with her about this one place that had one.
Can you include others in that conversation? That's
Well, we can certainly talk to her about it. Was there another one over here? Denise?
I just want to clarify after what Scott said. Election Central is not hiring any clerks. If you are trying to find clerks for your location, they will give you contact information for people who have clerked before, or if you need to find a judge, they will give you you as the judge are the one who has to reach out to these people and hire them and find out when can they come, work all day, all of that kind of thing. So it isn't that we're giving this responsibility to Election Central. They can provide us with far more contact information for people than we have, because they're collecting this information all the time, and they keep the history of everyone who's judged and everyone who's clerked. And that's all I was trying to say.
Yes.
And as far as the application that you're talking about being on their website, that is not for election day polling place. That's early voting only clerks that they're trying to recruit for.
Yeah, but they will still give you names and telephone numbers and things like that, because what's wrong with contacting a voter and saying, do you want to be a clerk? That's all you're doing.
Right, and so to answer Elizabeth's question about trying to, we can't depend on Election Central to do that recruiting. We need to do some kind of effort of advertising and trying to recruit clerks.
Ideally, like I stated earlier, ideally, each precinct would recruit a person. If it's not going to be yourself as the precinct chair, then you would recruit another person that's going to be your main judge. You would put that person on the list. You would look for another person within your precinct to be the substitute in case that judge is ill. So that's what we're looking for, is each precinct chairman is responsible for making sure that there is a judge and a substitute in their precinct, so that we don't have to run all over the place looking for these people. It's each precinct chair that is doing that. Then the judge is the one who is putting together their team of workers that they can call, and hopefully they're doing it in such a manner that they will have people that they can call all during the year for different elections, and that that it won't be like we're waiting to the last minute. So anyway, that's what we're trying to achieve. The discussion here is because we have so many new people that don't understand this, and we're trying to make sure that they all know they need this list by this summer at the or before the organization meeting.
So I will just be compiling those names. One more thing. I just have two things left. One, be sure and tell the people that you're talking to and asking them if they'll be on this list. I want to read you what it says at the top of the list. It says, in accordance with Chapter 32 and Section 127.005 of the Texas Election Code, the following persons are appointed to serve as election officials for a one-year term beginning August 1st and then the year. So please be sure and tell the person they're making a commitment for a year. I actually spoke to somebody on this list who had no idea they were on this list. Okay, that shocked me. So please make sure and let them know. And I promise the person, I'm not putting your name on a list without talking to you first and getting a commitment. So that was one thing. One other thing I had, and just for y'all as precinct chairs to think about, like Robert said, maybe y'all can do some things to help the new precinct chairs figure out how do you go about doing this, where do you find people, maybe some tips. Some of y'all are really good at this and getting people lined up for that. So, Kathy's first.
Yeah, having a judge for a whole year to commit, this is the first I've heard of it.
Me too.
And I'd like to know how many elections, these folks need to know what they're committing to.
Right.
So what's the list of elections?
Typically it's only 2, right?
No, it's usually 4.
Primary? Not this year. Not this year.
There's usually 4 per year,
Yeah.
not including
You know how many?
runoffs.
And when did this 1-year commitment?
It's always been that way, Kathy. Well, now you have, but it's always been that way.
Okay, pass the word around.
It's a minimum of 4 elections per year.
Letter.
I was going to say too,
Minimum of 4.
the fact that it's a 12 or 13-hour day, letting people know they can split it in half. You could work a half a day. Not a judge, but that's hard. So, yeah, and that would help people because a lot of these people are going first.
We need judges. This is the main need we have. And anyone who has a method to suggest, other than going door to door, knocking on every Republican door in your precinct and asking people to be judges, I would love to hear your thoughts. And I think, that some, effort could be made, like Robert said, on the part of the party. For example, maybe we will have a booth at the Texas Youth Summit. Perhaps we could recruit, especially student clerks, because they can do everything that a clerk can do. They can't be judges. Or if, I was thinking of like a parking lot type of thing like we do for early voting, that I might do on May 26th, because I don't have to judge that day. It's the Precinct 33 judge is going to be in our location. And sit out there and say, I have a big help wanted sign. And just because I did get 2 leads for people who are interested in working elections during the May 2nd election. So, that type of thing. We need to recruit people who are willing, because we need substitute judges too sometimes. And if we can provide one, instead of having Election Central just finding, whoever they find, then we would be better off, especially.
Yeah, I think part of what's happening is the economy's really doing well, and when the economy's doing well, everyone's working and has their agendas full. They really aren't available for elections. It kind of goes in cycles. So that may be part of what's happening, but hopefully we're getting the information out to everybody and making them aware that as a party, every June, we have to send this list to the Commissioner's Court. And those are the people that whoever is listed and approved by the commissioners are the people that is the first judge. And then you have a substitute in case that judge gets sick. So that's what we're trying to achieve. So hopefully we can move on now to another subject area, unless y'all want to beat this horse some more. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Are there any other committee reports? No. Yes, sir.
Without objection, this will be off the minutes. Without objection, this will be off the minutes.
Then it's not a committee report.
This is the committee investigating left-wing activities in Montgomery County.
Speak up, can't hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Who are you?
Precinct Chair 3, Alex Shandell. This is the committee investigating left-wing activities in Montgomery County. Without objection, I'd like this report to be off the minutes.
Point of order.
Point of order.
This is not a legitimate committee. We have to move
it. It was commissioned in March of last year.
Yeah.
Oh shit, really? My bad. Continue.
You have a new business?
This is not new business. This is a singular report from a committee, a select committee we commissioned last year in March. I'll be brief if this is going to be on the minutes. In March last year, during the anti-Doge riots, we commissioned a committee to investigate the protesters who were organizing it. That was me. Without getting into sources or methods, I investigated a lot of the left-wing groups that are active in Montgomery County. It's a 70% Republican county, but there are lots of them. I had hours of audio that I collected from attendees who are organizing these protests, some of which overlap with riots. Pages and pages of messages, encrypted messages, Discord messages from these people. Law enforcement has expressed no interest in this. These are left-wing agitators who are active in our county. You've seen the No Kings protest going on in Conroe. You might have seen them in the news. There's some in the Woodlands. There's a lot of them in Houston. Law enforcement has shown no interest in this. Since we're approaching the end of the biennium, my recommendation is that the body needs a standing intelligence committee that's tasked with tracking, monitoring, and in some cases infiltrating and sabotaging the left-wing groups that are operating in our county.
I don't like the word sabotage.
Okay, so I suggest that at the organization meeting, that you bring that up and discuss that so that when we're doing the bylaws that we can, if we so desire, can appoint a committee and give it its instructions. So you will bring that up at the organization meeting. Are there any other committee reports? Committee reports. Moving on. The Vice Chair, does he have a report?
Just briefly, we had about 620 checks that Gwen wrote by hand, so her hand is tired from that. And so we spent approximately $116,000 for fees. So that was the March 3rd election. What I'm really going to talk about is the timesheets. We had to go back and make several corrections because people didn't put either correct times or if they dropped off the box or who dropped off the box. So we had to go back several iterations to figure that out. So what I'm asking is the timesheets. I have a new respect for timesheets. I used to be one of you guys, okay? I used to just scribble the timesheet and really didn't care, but if it's not legible, it's hard to convert that into an electronic file. So I implore the judges or whoever we get to at least give some thought to writing legible timesheets because they won't let it go electronic, the county, I'm sure. So that's really it. It helps us do our job and get the paychecks to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Lewis has a whole new understanding of trying to get through these timesheets. Yes, ma'am.
Would it be helpful if you used a stamp for your signature and saved a little time and handwriting your signature?
My signature, we did consult with the bank about that. They did not recommend that we did that. So that is the reason. I don't believe I slowed you down at all. Like you say, Lewis will attest that him trying to read the timesheets was more time consuming than my signature. So I was not the reason for any delay. And we did consult with the bank about it. We actually do have a stamp with my signature, but they did not recommend that we used it. Any other questions, thoughts? All right. Moving to the treasurer.
Yes, real quickly, on the same topic, the party that loaned the other half of the party enough money, $15,000 short term, to cover the costs of the elections. And later in June, the June meeting, we'll probably have to approve another loan of approximately $10,000, as Gwen pointed out. Another topic real quickly, if you had a chance to take a look at the statement, we're at $84,159, that is of the first. That's my report.
Okay, any questions for the treasurer?
Yes.
I see one.
Is that loan going to be paid back with interest, and if so, how much?
We have not discussed that, but I assume it's a no-interest loan.
Hey, please understand, it is a party account.
Yeah,
we did
it's
not
going
give
from one
money.
part of the party to the other part of the party, so I think it'd be inappropriate to charge.
I'll loan you some out of my $5.
Thank you for that kind offer, Herschel, but we don't need it.
Annette?
Each election time, the candidates pay a filing fee. Where does that show up?
That goes into this fund that I manage. It's called the Montgomery County Republican Party Primary Fund. And those go into, when the filing fees go into that account, I'm responsible for making sure that they go there. I give an accounting to the Secretary of State, and when they give us our first estimate, they take that off. So say our estimate is that our fees for all the workers is going to be $75,000. I've collected $5,000 from the candidates. They only give me $70,000, and that's only 75% of whatever they really calculate that our workers are going to cost.
So does that show somewhere on this report?
It does not, because the money actually belongs to the SOS and it's just passing through. Yes.
Do we check with the SOS that it was okay to transfer? My understanding is those have to be two separate accounts and you can't transfer money back and forth between them.
Yes, it is expected that the party would loan money to this account.
Okay, all right.
It is done by every party that pays their own workers all throughout the county. You may check with Stein if you would like.
No, that's fine. I know that there's hard lines between I want to point out though is 10,000 is an estimate. I mean, I'm going to get a better estimate on how much money we're going to need.
So
let's just say round numbers, 10,000, but it might be different than that. Okay, I don't know that right now.
Well, I think we need to buy like a Joe Biden auto pen. No, I'm just joking.
Okay. Well, I would further discuss with Scott Baker that when I went to the training, and I actually came from a county that also contracted as Montgomery County did in the past. So it was sort of a new concept for me to have to pay for the workers myself. And I remember at that training very clearly when the other party chairs started mentioning that they had to loan money, I jumped up and said, what? What was that? Please repeat that. What are you saying? And so that was like, I knew back in September that we would be responsible for the 25% that the state does not reimburse you. You get that money when you do the report in August. And I believe that you were the one who did that report in the past, but in the past you did not have to deal with these workers. So that this is a new thing. And like I said, it was very shocking to me when I found out we were going to have to do that also.
But in the past that's always been like a hard line, like these cannot
mix the funds?
No, it is the way that the state has it set up, that you loan that money to the primary fund until they reimburse you. But you can't commingle it with other funds.
Right.
All right, moving along to the secretary.
Very little to report, mainly a reminder about if you want stuff on the calendar to send it in so that we can put it on, and we'll get it in usually within 24 to 48 hours. But please try to remember, if you're chairing a committee, to set those meetings up on the calendar so people know they're occurring. I'll try to send reminders and stuff like that each month, and you also have the option if you need to set a recurring meeting. I would suggest if you're a committee chair, you may want to say every third Tuesday we're going to meet, and go ahead and notice those. And then if you need to cancel a meeting, you can cancel it with 24 hours notice. That's no problem. But if you have not put it on the calendar, you haven't technically met the notice requirements. So it's better to be safe than sorry, and go ahead and set your recurring meetings up and cancel them if you don't have a quorum or you're not going to be able to make the meeting. The other thing I was going to tell you was, as I'm kind of settling into the position, trying to build a big vacuum that DJ left, we're doing a lot of organizing of the digital files in the office, the email files, and archiving a lot of stuff, categorizing it so we can find things. So we're still needing office volunteers if someone has an interest in doing some of that. I've also started the process to try to more effectively recruit volunteers across the whole organization, and we're working on a survey to do that, to try to find some skills and some availability so that we can do a better job of volunteerism and volunteer management, and open any suggestions that you all have.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
All right, we now move to good of the order. Yes, sir.
Sorry. Madam Chairman, last year I think Phoebe was in charge of the committee for this.
Could you speak a little louder?
I'm sorry. I think Phoebe was in charge of the committee for this. I'm not 100% sure, but we did the precinct conventions on the following Saturday instead of the night of. And I was wondering if we had a kind of report on how that went. Anecdotally, I think it went great. I think it was great. And we had to get out in front of it months to do that. And so I would strongly suggest that we continue that practice if everybody's on board with it, and that we make sure that we address it early on so that we're not waiting until the last minute to do so.
Well, and it was addressed early on last time, and we would have to do that probably either at the organization meeting or thereafter. This CEC couldn't vote on that to tell the other CEC that's fixing to become organized.
But we could gather feedback about it.
Yes, so Phoebe, would you like to tell us some about how it went?
Oh, she's not here.
Not here, no.
Well, you mean me.
Allison. I'm sorry, Allison.
Allison.
Sarah Allison.
A report on like attendance or?
What did we get some feedback from everybody that they liked it or they didn't like it? I know we had a few people were asking if they could go ahead and do it on the Tuesday night but we had already decided to do it, and I thought it was successful. But I don't want to just assume that everybody take my word for it. It seemed like it was successful. If it is, we should get some feedback from the precinct chairs how it went, and then plan to do it again.
We just vote
real
quick.
No, you're totally right. I was wanting to get some feedback from the precinct chairs, generally about attendance, because the only concerns I heard were attendance was low for some people, which may or may not have been because it was on Saturday. You kind of have to, I think, do it on Saturday a few years in a row to tell if it's really because of a different day. But from everyone that I talked to, that was the only concern I heard, was that some attendance was low for people, and they were concerned that it would minimize volunteerism or involvement from the community because people are busy on Saturdays.
That's right.
But I would love feedback from everybody about how your convention went, whether or not it was an inconvenience to have to drive a little bit farther, whether or not you thought the Saturday or the drive made attendance lower, that type of thing. Feel free to email me. My email's on the website. I'm the Precinct 55 chair. And I can compile that for people and then send it out maybe to the secretary or something, comments and that type of thing. But overall, I think it went well. I think the gathering of the data was a little bit more efficient than usual, and in terms of like we got it turned over a little bit more quickly. And I think having consolidated locations we can get better and better at that in future years. But that's all. Yeah.
Oh, just quickly, you may not have realized, but it was also spring break all of Texas.
It was,
And that
yeah.
was the very beginning. That's why I had almost no attendance. Everybody said, well, I'm going out of town to Disney World.
Yeah.
So, you know, they
Yeah.
weren't going to come. So maybe you want to do it on a Friday night or something, or just something, even if spring break's coming up, I don't know how you can figure that out. Hopefully, I hope
Yeah. Well, being Montgomery County, we need to hold it as early as possible just because the date of the SD convention is set by state party rules, so we can't control that. If you go even another week late, that only gives us about a week to organize all of the documents from the precinct conventions, and it's already quite a rush for our committee chairs to get everything digitized and ready for the SD convention with like 2.5 weeks.
maybe a Friday, I know it's not good, but maybe no one would be out of town yet if you do it on a Friday.
Possibly, but spring break varies by school district, so that week and the following week were spring break for various people, so it's hard to control that. Yes?
For me, I had a person then who came to the convention, he volunteered to take over being the judge on elections, so to me that was very helpful. So especially being on a different day helped, and then I was able to organize people in my precinct and take advantage of that.
Yeah, my personal experience was it was just more relaxed because you just have all the time that you feel like giving to the convention. But yes.
I just want to say, if anyone who is the election judge for the primary, it's nearly impossible to be the election judge and then chair your precinct convention. Get it, open by 8 o'clock and then take all of the equipment back. It gave me a lot more time to plan the precinct convention and what would happen there and actually contact more people and encourage them to come. So I really appreciate it.
Can I make a comment real quick? I like the, it was a smoother transition, but the one thing, it shortened the time for resolution or for people to do their work. So we're always compressed to get everything out. So that's the only negative I can see. So we have less days to get all our data put together, and it's hard to do that. So that's a negative, but overall I think it was positive.
Thursday night?
And
I loved having it on Saturday. My problem was I had 20, I think, or 22 at mine, and we were in the big room with about, 6 or 7 other groups,
like 12.
small, and 12. And they couldn't hear me. I didn't want to broadcast to the whole room. So I need my own little room.
Everybody take that into account next year and try and get better facilities or something like that.
I think she's wanting special privileges or something. Sounds like it to me. I don't know. Well, we will.
I mean, if people are interested in more formal feedback, I can set up some kind of like Google form or something like that where people can fill out. Just give me was it a positive or overall negative? How many people showed up to your precinct convention, and what would you change for next year?
Yeah, I just want to say that I was very impressed. I agree with Scott that it went fantastic, and I want to give my appreciation to Karen and Castle's husband for hosting ours and doing a fantastic job with it. So,
thank you. Yeah.
So we will discuss this at the organization meeting if y'all so desire, or the new precinct chairs so desire. They can vote to continue this practice, or in the next meeting or two they can vote to do that. But I agree that it needs to be done early on. Don't wait till the last minute. Anything else under good of the order?
Thank you, Sarah.
Sure it's not
Testing the sound levels here. My name is Jeff Zedlar, Precinct 84. I even wrote it down so I wouldn't get confused. First thing I want to do is congratulate all the winners who won your races. No matter who you are, I encourage you when you can to get up here and speak. Even if you fumble your way through it, it doesn't matter. I've been here a year, and I think it's really important to share your ideas, everybody. And you're going to have so much fun when you join. You really are. This is a blast. Alex, can you stand up again? Please. So I don't know Alex. We haven't met, and I didn't know that your committee existed. But when I saw you come up here and talk about left-wing activities that are going on, I see a lot of indifference. And coming from California, if you don't pay attention to this, you will fall. Texas will fall. I'll help you in any way I can. I've seen these protests out there, and why the hell are we not out there taking them on? These anti-ICE protests, you think they're just going to go away unopposed? Just walk off someday? They're going to grow. And they're going to keep growing. So unless you're 97, okay, you got a good excuse, but if you're younger than that, you should be out there. So let's talk, and talk to me. Because we have to go up against them, and they will wilt with us out there. That's who they are. You know, this is like an art cutting knife. Of course, the blade just came off. Imagine that it's a scalpel, and this scalpel symbolizes my agenda, which is, I can't believe that in the United States right now, 10, 11-year-old kids are having their reproductive organs cut off, and mainly supported by leftists. I don't really want to debate the fucking voter guides for 30 more hours, font sizes. I want to put our energy into what really matters, and to me this is big. I also want to address the Republican women's groups. There are 6 of them. Seems like we're divided. We have half the people here who want to thank them. The other half want to put them in front of a firing squad. I kind of feel like I'm a tie-breaking vote here, oddly. A lot of pressure. I'd like more time to think it over. But here's what I would do, and I don't know why this is impossible, and I'd like to be included. Send Scott Baker, if you're willing, Kim Weber, if you're willing, and I'll go with you, and we'll meet with every single women's Republican club. We'll talk to them, we'll hear them, we'll listen to them, we'll find out what the problems are, and then we'll do something about it. Because, look guys, we all believe different things. That's never going to change. But we're trying to hold a political coalition together. And if you don't do that, you will increasingly lose more and more elections. I was born in a red state, watched it go blue. It's painful. So, anybody over there, if you're in women's clubs, let's talk, let's figure that out. Let's go meet them one at a time and solve it. So, the other thing I mentioned last time is the Tallarico survey, which I have not completed. I want to figure out how to beat this guy, and I think that's where our energy should go. I'm okay with the internal shootout. Like, I put out criticism of Scott Baker and memes against Scott Baker. I have no regrets. Okay? Up into the primaries, okay? You can say anything when we're competing for the same things. It's all on the table. But once the primaries are done, I'm done with that, and I want to focus on Democrats. So, anybody who ends up filling out that survey, I'll share all the data with you. And maybe 5 people will fill it out. Lastly, I know my position is kind of controversial here in that I support Republicans. And I have supported Steve Toth recently Brett Ligon. And when I go to these events, I see separate groups there. Separate groups from here. And I'm like, what will it take to get more of us at both of these things? Because if we don't do that, we're going to see people like Sean Finney, Ron Angeletti, and Monique Scott, who's opposing Brett Bailey in Texas 15. We're going to see them winning. So I don't have the answer, but let's try and break the ice somehow. That's it. Thank you.
I'm Betty Anderson, and I'm Precinct 31 Chair, but I'm also President of Montgomery County Eagle Forum. And Thursday night, our Eagle Forum chapter this is something that we do annually. We have a National Day of Prayer event, and where we have specific leaders that have been invited to it's elected officials and community leaders that have been asked to pray for specific topics. And it's going to be, we're meeting this time at Grace Woodlands Church. They're very hospitable. And I do want to mention too that one thing that Eagle Forum is trying to do in order to try to encourage more unity among the different groups. We've got a lot of wonderful conservative groups across the county. Not all the groups are leftists out there, and it's a good thing. But and some groups are multi-focused on issues. Others are single issues, and that's great. There's a place for everybody. But anyway, one thing that we're trying to do, and we did it during our candidate forums, is we invited conservative organizations to come, bring a table, set it up, get your decor, have a display with maybe your name of your organization, flyers about your organization, when your group meets, what part of it, where it is. There are groups all over the county. In fact, there's a new group that's starting up over in East County too. So yes, and so anyway, we're going to have tables at the National Day of Prayer event. It is this Thursday, May 7th, 7 o'clock p.m. The doors will open at 6 for anyone who wants to come set up a table. And just let me know tonight if and you may need to check with maybe the leader of your organization, but let me know if you'd like to set up a table. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other folks in good of the order? Yes, sir. Boy, y'all are talkative tonight.
Hello, Evan Kendrick, Precinct 21. I just want to welcome our new precinct chairs on board. You're in for a whirlwind here. We're one big happy family, as you can see. I want to thank Herschel Walker Williams for helping me. Not only is he a good football player, but man, I was new to this. I'm learning, right? And even how to block walk and all that stuff. And he helped me out. He had a little template for my card and my little thing that I stick on my bags, right? It was just all right there. And he just, I appreciate that a lot. So for all the new ones, if you want to learn how to be a precinct chair, tag along with somebody. We have some great volunteers here, by the way. And I'm just thankful for that, because if we didn't volunteer, we wouldn't go anywhere. It's a spirited group, right? It's like, think of a bunch of spirited fillies, right? You got to kind of tame those fillies a little bit, but it's good we have spirit, but we want to have tact too, right? Because we don't want to push anybody away. We have a young woman here from California, but that's checking it out again, and I think we should be a good testimony for people that want to get involved, but we want to show them love, right? And so I just want to admonish people to do that. It's good we have good spirit though, and I want to leave you with this. Galatians 5:14-16 says, "For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. But if you bite and devour one another, beware lest you be consumed by one another. I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." So with that, I just admonish everybody that we remain a family, but we are also a good testimony to the world. Thank you.
All right, wow, y'all are really on a roll here tonight. Okay, any others? Okay, we're into new business. Herschel?
I'm back. Okay, we have been working with Governor Abbott's office about buses, and we're also working with Grace Church on a place to park so we can ride buses. I did not get a lot of positive response about a bus down to George R. Brown on Wednesday and a return on Saturday, and drop you off so you don't have to spend the money on the car and the trip, parking and all that. That wasn't as popular as going down on every day, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Go in the morning, come back in the evening, go back to home. So really, that's what it's boiled down to. The cost of having a bus trip like that is probably going to be $30 to $40 a day, so you're looking at $90 to $120 for the 3 days. I had a short conversation with the lady who's coordinating all this, and she said, "You guys are the most coordinated bunch of people in Montgomery County I've ever encountered." She said, "We are way ahead of anybody else in putting this together."
What did you have her fool?
Okay. What we're going to do, though, she has said, since she doesn't have a whole lot of other activities, she's going to go and ask the governor to pay for it. We don't know that that's going to happen, but it's going to be one bus that holds 55. If you get on the list, and don't tell me you want to ride and then don't show up, but if you want to get on the list, you need to get, I've already sent out a list of people who were at the SD conventions, 18, SD4 and all that, and put their name on the list to go. I've got 27 right now that just called in on their own, not because I poked them or anything. We have 134 on that list that went to those conventions. So if you want to be on the bus and go sleep in your own bed at night, possibly have no expense for gasoline or anything, I'll need for you to put your name on that list, but don't do it just to say, well, I'll use it as an alternative. Nothing would be worse than to have people that didn't get on that list and a vacant seat being there that they could have sat in. Yes, ma'am?
Question, if it goes late, do y'all stay to the end?
No. We're going to have a scheduled leaving time, which is probably going to be about 5:30. We can vote on the time we depart.
It often goes later than that.
A lot of them do. We haven't even gotten the schedule yet. Have you seen the schedule?
There is a
schedule just came out.
This should have been out on the 20th. Okay, the hotels were supposed to be out on the 20th. The schedule was supposed to be out on the 20th. So we had no way to plan. You, as a passenger, who's ever, can all vote and say, we want to leave at this time on this day because there's something you want to do. If the group wants to do it, we'll do it.
Because there's often big votes on Saturday night. Yeah.
On Saturday.
Saturday night.
Saturday night? You talking about Friday night or Saturday night?
want that definition.
Okay, well then folks, I'm going to tell you this, we will try to do it as a group and try to figure out the best way to do it. It's not my bus. I'm not telling it what to do. I'm just trying to coordinate a group of passengers that will tell the bus drivers when they want to go. Yes, ma'am?
Well, you're referring to this list. Where is it? How do we get our name on it?
I got the list from having sign-up sheets at the SD4, SD7 conventions, and then I got a list of the delegates from 8 and alternates from 18. So what I am trying to do is I have sent out, I got the emails and texts and all that to those people and sent it out. And I've gotten a response from quite a few people that want to be on it. You can send me, you can get on the list. Just go ahead and send me your information. I'll put you down. Okay?
Send it to where?
Pardon me?
Please tell me where to send it.
My address.
Which is?
You don't know. It's HerschelW@protonmail.com. Simple. Herschel with a C.
Well, Herschel, I really do want to thank you for trying to herd cats and trying to put this thing together. I would not do it for anything in the world, so thank you.
Well, let me just finish by saying one thing. I do not want to get in the money business with this. That's why I'm trying to get the...
You're not going to make $5 on that?
No. Yeah, $5 a ride.
Herschel,
Yes,
can I
ma'am.
suggest, having done that you go ahead, even though the governor may pay for it, that you take like an earnest money. If you don't show up, we keep it.
What am I going to do with it?
Give it to the party. Donate it to the party. But I'm just saying that if you don't make people commit.
What happens if there's a wreck? Am I part of the liability chain then?
No.
Okay. Robert?
Is there 3 buses?
No, 1 per day. 1 per day. 55 people in the morning, 55 people coming home.
Okay.
I mean, I can get more buses. I can do that. But right now, I'm shooting just to fill 1. So
I thought there was, in the emails that we had corresponded on, I thought there was like 2 or 3 buses and you were worried about having enough parking at Grace Church. Has that all changed?
No, I've never had 2. I had, at one time, I had a quote on 2 buses because I had 134 people on the list, and the bus would have hold 110, or 2 buses would be 110 people. I thought, well, maybe we can get there. But now I'm in more practicality. I haven't asked for the governor to give us any more than 1 bus in all practicality, because I think they weren't planning on giving us any bus. So I kind of got them talked into looking at giving us a bus, which is pretty good. I mean, if you really want to go, then sign up. And then you'll be within my list on the first 55 that signed up, and I'm on the list. By golly, I'm going to. But you will go to Grace Church, park your car. I negotiate with Grace Church. By the way, I have to ask for approval to put up the funds for a certificate of insurance for the church. Anytime you use the church property, whether it be outside, inside, they want an insurance policy. So Charles is going to have to do that. We do not know what it is until we find out how many people or how many cars, that sort of thing. So it's kind of like limbo and open check. Do you have any idea what kind of dollars are we looking at? You know?
Well, it's event insurance, so it's not like for a whole year. It's just for per day. So the estimate that she gave me, and that's not based on how many buses or anything, because we don't really know, and how many cars, but it's going to be easily less than $1,000, but it's going to be at least $500.
$500.
Yeah.
So the party will have an expense.
Yeah, the party will.
It's going to be liability coverage for parking. So it ain't free. The party's going to pay something. I guess we could have a donation made to the party for each rider, like $10 or something. And that would, and then we could make a donation. Could we do that, Charlie? If we were, every rider would donate $10 or something like that? We'll figure that out. And that way we could recoup the cost to the party for the insurance. Keep me out of the loop.
Question, Herschel.
Yes.
Will you be required to put down a deposit in order to book the bus? Will you have to have money up front in order to book the trip?
No, I don't think so. Once we get Abbott's office to sign off on it. Now, if I do have to, if we don't get any support from Abbott, and then we might, and if we're going to have to pay for it, which would be, again, it would be $90 to $120 for the 3 days. Then we may have to put up a deposit. But a deposit can come out of the funds that are collected for the ride. I mean, it would be in advance on those funds, right? The owner of the bus company that we're talking to would like a deposit in advance.
So, Herschel,
yes.
What is the bottom line you're asking the CEC to do?
Bottom line right now is I'm asking the CEC to go ahead and vote to approve the funds to be paid for the insurance.
So you've made a motion to approve the funds up to $1,000.
Yes.
For the liability insurance.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. For Grace Church. It's for Grace Church. We don't know what the deal is going to be yet. I got to have an estimate of the number of cars and like you said, the number of buses, how big a space we're going to take. I'm going to go meet with them next week.
So is the CEC ready to vote on that?
Yes.
All in favor?
That's my job, person. No. Well, that's right. This isn't coming out of committee, so we do need a second.
Second.
All right, we have a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ah, great. Okay, Herschel. What else do you need the CEC to do? Anything?
Adjourn.
Wait, no, you can't do that.
How about if Abbott doesn't come up with the money, do we need to?
Well, I'll have to approach that when I get to it.
Yes, you're chairing the meeting.
We've talked about a form that would go out with a link so that people could pay. Once you know if they need to pay, you'll know exactly how much to tell them to pay, and then they can respond and click through to pay and reserve their spot.
All right.
I got one thing. I won't know how much to tell you that you have to pay until I have people that are committed to ride, whether it costs $190 or $120 or it's free. If you're going to pay for the whole deal, the worst cost being like $120, we'll average it out and get it right. But if you can't commit to that, don't tell me you want to ride and just wait for it to be free. Okay? So it's chicken or the egg. I don't know until I get what it's going to cost per person until I know how many people there are. So that's what it's going to be.
Okay, well, but you have a list of people and you can notify them after you talk to the governor next week. Okay. Is there anybody else under the, oh, here we got another one. See, it's a good thing I didn't let you try to adjourn this meeting.
I'd like to make a motion that whatever the right impact account set up for individual precinct chairs, obviously the national party has some sort of arrangement where the county party can use get lists for their particular precincts, send out text and whatever, rather than having to go through a middleman. I would like that to be made available through on how to get that set up for each precinct chair on the precinct chair resources website.
Well, I have hesitated to do that because you, let me think how to explain this. Okay.
May I interrupt? I've got $10,000 out of my personal account during this last session. Right now, I'm at $5,000. This is coming out of my bank account. They automatically bill my bank account every time there's a text. Now, if everybody wants to set up an account, maybe they can do that. But I'm going to tell you what, it's hard to manage this in a multiple manager location for our precinct.
The reason I limited the number of people that had access to Right Impact, they were trying to work with other precinct chairs, but at this point, the way the account works, if you have access to everything. You're a total manager. There's no way to set them up just so they have access to their precinct and to do certain things. Like they can go in and delete all of the state agencies and stuff like that. And so that is the reason I limited the number of people, and I threatened them on their life that they could not go out there and delete people that were not supposed to be deleted and not to be monkeying around with the other stuff. But that is the reason that we limited it to a few precinct chairs, and I don't mind giving it to some other trusted precinct chairs, but to open it up right now to everybody, it's just not ready for that. So I hope I explained that well.
Probably should have been transparent.
Okay.
Never mind.
Nobody's seconded it.
Okay.
Well, I hope I explained to you why we did it that way.
Okay.
It is just a free service at this point that the state party is kind of experimenting with, and it came from the national party. Actually, they can pull the plug on it at any time, so we really don't know what's going to happen with it.
Okay, I would withdraw that motion, and I would like to help the party get the results so that we can answer the question that Mr. Baker had on how effective it is. So if we can get, if Herschel can send me the reports, I will compile it in order to basically report out and show how effective we were in getting the message out to know if this is a good way to spend our resources.
You have to give Herschel $5.
Yeah.
So Herschel, are you willing to do
We
that?
did for that campaign. Cat already paid it.
I just sent out 100 precincts text messages for.
No, he's asking about the Brent Ligon.
That's 300 text message body accounts were sent to Brett Ligon, okay, for Brett Ligon. 300. So I have to go individually for each precinct and download that application. It's not in bulk. This is not a mass mailing. They don't have it set up that way. It's by precinct. Because there's no SD4 division, okay? So it is a lot of work and a lot more than $5.
Okay, well, can you give Robert some reports?
I can give him something, yeah, but it'll take a while.
Okay.
Other things to do.
Well, it is an experimental system, so keep that in mind. We're just kind of operating with it to see how it works. And we've been giving, we're one of the few counties, we're giving feedback back to Right Impact so that hopefully they can improve it for all of the counties and roll it out for all of Texas, maybe down the road if they want to. Yes, sir.
I would suggest that we give the feedback to them that they need to improve their reporting process so that we can get this information quicker.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. But yes, we have given them feedback. We actually had a Zoom meeting with weren't you there? It was the steering committee. We had a Zoom meeting with the higher up officials that of Right Impact and discuss with them some of the problems with their software. Okay. Any other new business? Yes, sir.
Yes, resolution. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here again with Montgomery County Republican Representative report again. And I have tried to meet with a couple different people to go over it as I was suggested to meet with them. But sadly, even though I tried to meet with them, that didn't happen. Basically, what you'll be voting on is to agree that our representatives, congressmen, state, local, whether you got the mud district, whatever, a lot of times people get elected to a position, they do not come back and talk to anybody. They feel they are above you, they do not have to answer any questions.
Could you use the microphone?
Hit the button on it. Hit the button. There you go.
That ain't better?
Yes.
People get elected, they feel that they don't need to answer any questions, like, well, use the history of Dan Crenshaw. The time I've been a precinct chair, I've never seen Dan Crenshaw come down once. He goes to Heights in Washington, D.C., he only comes down to ask for votes. But he never answers any questions that are not pre-screened, which there's a history of that as well. We got new people that are going into Congress, and simply with them knowing that you will submit this to them, they will know that any decisions that they make, they will have to come back and answer for them. It makes me no money. It simply states that if you sign a non-binding agreement, which the Montgomery County Representative Report is, if we call you back and you choose not to do that, you will hold that back when you come back for votes again, and we will let the voters know that you choose not to come back and answer any questions. Whether or not they sign it again is a moral decision that they make, and we will let the voters know that they chose not to sign it, saying that they feel they are above everybody else. They do not need to answer questions, and we have a history of that again. So I would like to submit the Montgomery County Representative Report to be voted on again, and I hope everybody understands exactly what it means. Is there any questions that anybody has about the Montgomery County Representative Report that has been submitted a couple times already? Yes, sir.
Is it being sent to?
We will ask any representative. I have already talked to Steve Toth and John Bunk as well, and they both agreed to sign it. Even John Boucher, when he was running, he also agreed, I think this is a great thing, and I will sign it as well. So we have two elected and one that was running for election. They all agreed that this is a great thing, and we need more of this in the government. So anybody that runs for position, we will simply ask them to sign it. Whether they sign or not is non-binding. They could run for anything that they want. This is simply what they feel they need to do, whether or not they need to answer questions after they're elected.
So are there any parameters on how often they have to come back and answer questions? Any details like that?
Well, it's suggested that they come back twice a year, but if a representative is doing their job properly, I don't think we need to call them back. But again, I'll use the history of Dan Crenshaw, for example. Oh, he would have been called back twice a year. Whether or not he showed up, he would have to hold that bag. Even if he didn't sign it, he would have to hold that bag. We would let all the voters know that he chose not to answer any questions. He felt he was above everybody else every time he ran. Yes?
Do you have the language that you can put on the board site?
It's already been presented twice, but I mean, I could read it, or if you would like.
Call the vote.
You can't do it, there's no second. I second, because you put a motion, so I second.
Okay.
Now we have discussion.
Okay. I got a point of inquiry.
Yes.
Question.
Yes.
Why would it not be a good idea for this to apply to all of our local and state elected officials as well? Not just those we send to Washington, but why shouldn't they all have to sign an agreement to come back and answer questions of the voters when we feel that they're not doing their job as they should be?
Any representative can sign this paper. It doesn't matter who signs it. You can ask any representatives to sign it. It says senator, congressman on here. But any representative of Montgomery County can be asked to sign it. I would love for this to continue on to the next session with new precinct chairs. I think this would be a great gift to give them, with the new people being elected, knowing that, you know what? They're all going to be looking at me. They're going to want me to sign that representative report, and I'm going to have to go back and talk to them. And if I don't sign it, they're going to let the voters know that I refuse to go back and talk to anybody. At the same time, if I have to go back there and answer questions, I better have something good to tell. Yes?
So Tom, how is this different than the elected officials coming to, say, a Tea Party meeting or a meeting and having us there and them taking our questions? How is that different from events we already hold here?
Well, I took this from Dan Crenshaw's secondary, and she said that precinct chair told me that Representative Will Metcalf will not come and answer any questions if they feel they'll be attacked. So within the Montgomery County representative report, it will be a controlled session where questions will be submitted to a question selection committee. And at that time, the questions will be screened down, and then somebody who is not part of the question selection committee will then ask the questions. No precinct chairs will stand up and answer any questions. That way it's a controlled environment. That way no representative feels they'll be attacked. And at the same time, when people start asking questions, they get emotional. So I understand that. So it will be a controlled environment. That way they know that wherever they go, they will not be attacked. They will simply be asked questions. Whether or not they answer them, again, is up to them. Any other questions? Yes.
If one of our representatives is afraid to come before the people who vote for them, or they're going to be attacked or not, they need to be taken out of office. Period.
You are correct. So why wouldn't they want to come down and answer questions?
Exactly.
So the way it will be set up is a controlled environment. The questions will be selected ahead of time, and then somebody will sit there and be a moderator. Yes.
Who determines that it's time to call someone in?
I think that will be determined by the CEC. You know, if the representative is not about what they're planning to do in the future, it's decisions that they have already made, their track record. If they vote on an omnibus bill that had, certain things in it that are 100% disagreeable with Montgomery County or the United States people in general, we should be able to call them in and ask them why they voted that way.
So the tech would be a motion made, and the tech would vote on a motion to call a particular elected official.
Yes, this is set up. I want to give this to the CEC. Whether I'm still here or not, I want to give this to the CEC. That with the new precinct chairs and everybody who comes after everybody else will always have this in their pocket. So whenever somebody gets elected, they know, man, that's the CEC for it. They're going to call me and ask me questions. So I better think about what I do before I vote on anything. Yes?
How does that differ from every congressman and senator who will answer their email or have someone answer it? And you can ask questions of them anytime and get an answer almost immediately.
90% of the time, it's somebody else other than them answering.
Right, they're secondary.
Yeah, I don't want the secondary. I want to talk to the real person.
That is correct, Mark. We want to talk to the person face to face. An email is very simple to do, but when you have to come in, we're going to have a pocket of questions ready for you. Whether or not you answer them, you could run out of the room. But you're going to hold that bag at the end of the day. So we have that to show the voters.
One more thing. When Crenshaw came to Citizens Grill, he was literally attacked. People were calling him a traitor, a communist, a rhino. I mean, I wouldn't want to come back in that environment either.
And that was already thought about. That's why it will be a controlled environment. The questions will be selected ahead of time. And everybody in the CEC that wants to attend that meeting simply has to sit there. And if there's any time left over at the meeting, then they can be free to ask their questions.
And number two, can we call the question?
Tom, you do have
Oh, I'm sorry.
Scott Baker.
Yes, Scott.
I'm sorry, Scott.
I was just wondering if you're aware of the fact that if this thing does pass for some reason, that it dies on June 15th of this year, because it cannot be encumbered on another organization.
That's fine. I would like it to be accepted. That way it already has a history. That way you can introduce it to the next biennium, to the next new precinct chairs, saying that we do have this here. It does nothing but help the precinct chairs and help the county make sure that our elected representatives are held accountable. That's all it does. Yes.
I may have missed it. How often did you want them to come back?
Once or twice a year. It depends on their track record of history. If they're not doing anything wrong, they should be more than happy to come in and talk to the CEC. But at the same time, if they're making bad decisions, that's definitely a reason to call them in. Whether or not they sign a paper, it's a moral vote, and they have to hold that badge if they didn't even sign it. And you can show the voters that this person did not sign this paper, but yet they want your vote. They feel that they are above me. Yes.
You can precinct 28.
Yes.
So who exactly determines who's doing a good job and who's doing a bad job?
Exactly.
Good question. Don't have the same opinions on that.
Exactly.
You are 100% correct, and that could be a discussion that the CEC will hold. Yes.
Who's going to administer this program? Will it be a committee of the CEC or what?
It'll be a question selection committee, and the way I would like it to be set up is the candidates are agreed upon by the CEC. There won't be a secret committee somewhere. I want everybody, if you want to be part of it, you stand in front of the CEC and everybody votes, you know what, I think that person is good. But I do not want it to be a secret. I do not want it to be a clique. That's the one thing I thought about ahead of time. I do not want it to be a clique. I want it to be open to everybody. And after 3 years, you have to leave. You have to vacate the seat for somebody else. Yes.
Ann has a question.
I don't know what you have up there. I haven't seen it. Is it a resolution?
Yes, it's a Montgomery County Representative Report. It basically states...
I don't understand what that is.
It basically states that we will ask any representative of Montgomery County to sign this.
I understand,
Yes.
but is it a resolution?
Yes.
Because you brought 3 others. I'd like to read that one.
Well, no, I actually brought the same one, but I tabled it a couple
Well,
times.
but you also changed it a couple of times.
I changed it one time, and I was asked to table it so it can be gone over again, but sadly that meeting never happened. I had it changed. It was the same verbiage as reiteration of the first time.
Okay, and it went through the resolutions committee, correct?
The resolution committee asked me to table it so I could go through with them, and they never got back to me. Even though I asked several times to sit down with the resolutions committee and go over it, they never got back to me. Yes.
I think it's time to call the question.
Thank you.
Are we not doing any discussion?
We just have to do one for, one against.
Yeah.
We had a massive discussion instead of
Yeah, no, I agree.
just for and against. Move on.
That wasn't a full
I'll make it one.
Did we get a call to question? We can't hear up here.
Yes.
All right, Kathy has called the question. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
All right, so we have second. All those that would like to see this motion approved, please say aye.
Call the question.
All right, we're voting on calling the question. All those that like to call the question, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, so everybody's ready to call the question. All those in favor of this motion, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Aye. God.
Someone say aye.
A stand-up count. All right, we're going to have a standing account. All those in favor of this motion, please stand. right, so who's counting? Greg, are you helping him count?
Go, Greg, go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, you have to make a motion to do that. Okay, well, just wait, just a minute.
14, 15.
Can he call
15,
for a roll call
Did you
vote?
count Tom? Did you count Tom? No, Tom,
Tom.
the guy who's...
At the mic.
Boom. 16.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Can he call for a roll call
Jared
vote?
Scott.
Opposed. Okay, up. 1, 2.
Well, no, this vote goes through.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she can't stand up? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
It's all great.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. No, okay. 24. Don't shoot.
Okay, according to the parliamentarian, you,
Yeah, how about that?
One abstention.
oh, abstentions,
There was just one. This guy in front.
one abstention,
One in the back, she's saying now.
two abstentions.
3.
Oh, shoot, what are you? Y'all are trying to make this difficult. And you're succeeding.
All right, that's 6 abstentions.
All right, you got all the count?
Yep.
According to the parliamentarian, Tom, this is not my decision. I discussed it with him while they were taking the vote. You did not call for the roll call vote until after they had started voting. Once the voting has started, you can't call for the roll call vote.
Doesn't matter. It's good.
Yeah, and we would have had to call for a vote, and it had to have been a majority to have done a roll call vote. So, your motion failed. I'm sorry. So, anyway.
There's a lot of people don't want to help old representatives of county.
Yes, we do.
Just not that way.
So, yes, sir.
Chair, motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there is a second. All those ready to adjourn, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you for your attention tonight.